But let's go to the third segment where I'm going to wear my crown on this one. That's best bets. If you caught us, we're doing it on the show this time. I think we're going to do that going forward. But us three are doing a best bet segment, very similar to what me and Matt did on Instagram last year. If you were following along, make our picks against the spread, over, under, prop bets, whatever you want. Keep track of it, and we're going to have a winner at the end. And only one of us went 3-0 in the wild card round, and that was me. That was me. I'm gonna hold this one because Matt beat me a lot last year, so I need to.
He's parading it around. Yeah.
I need to take these wins when I can get them. But what I will say is I'm not as confident this week, but I am still confident in my pick, so we can get right into it. I'll go first. My best bet was a tough one to choose because I really like all three of these bets equally. So if you're only choosing one, choose which one you like here. If you're tailing me, don't choose just this one because I said the best. But I think my best is a Kelsey anytime touchdown in this Kansas City Buffalo game. It's minus 110, so you're just getting basically flat odds. You give the book the juice. But if you look at it, he had one in the regular season matchup this year. He had two in the AFC Championship game against the Bills last year, and two in their regular season matchup last year. So not only is that 5-3 games, but that's also one every game. I think minus 110 is good odds. If you have to choose someone who's going to score a touchdown on KC, I think Kelsey is the best bet. Does it feel chalky? Maybe a little bit, but honestly, TD scores, people like to just take wild shots for good odds. And I think this is a good steady bet with Travis Kelsey anytime.
It's crazy. I was going to say maybe it would make sense to bet him to score 2 touchdowns once you were reading off those stats. He's like plus 490 to score 2 touchdowns. He's the likeliest player. I'm not touching it at that odds, but I think it's like a given that he gets in this one. So
right. I'm not going to say it's a given because no bet's a given, but I think he has great odds. And to give
I can't have you go perfect 3-0 again. I got to go a little jinx here.
And Well, to give basically no juice, just a minus 110 is a straight bet. I'll take a Kelsey touchdown. My next bet's going to be Bengals Titans over. And I know we talked about how Tennessee likes to control the pace of the game, right? How this goes, that goes. But I think there's a shot that this one shoots out. I think the Bengals are throwing the ball regardless. I think the number's 47. I think that number's pretty spot on. But I had a great read on the Rams-Cardinals under last week, which is one of my winners. And I feel the same type of thing going into this one with the over 47 in that game. And then the last one for me is going to be Packers team total over, and that's 26.5. This team has scored 30 points basically every other game this season. I do respect San Fran's D, but honestly, I don't think they're going to stop them too much. Aaron Rodgers coming in fresh to the playoffs, coming in just grind mode. I mean, they're here to win a championship, and I think a convincing win in their first one will do it. And I kind of see the game script playing that way. So over team total 26.5. And those are mine. And we'll go to who came in second place last week. That is Jake Alley. Don't put your finger up, but he put up his one finger for his one win.
That's the one that I got.
You went 1 and 2 last. It was close.
I will say, the Dallas game, I had Dallas -3, and then the other one was having Eagles in the best bet was complete homer move. That's kind of an embarrassing thing to have on the record. Look, Matt and I are true diehards. You can take that hat off, Kyle.
Nope.
But this week, I'm going to go back to another under as my best bet. And I referenced it when we were talking about the game. Kansas City, Buffalo under 54.5 points. And I know on the face, it looks like a game that would seem to be a shootout or a potential shootout. And a lot of bettors thought so. This one opened up at over under 52. So it's risen 2 points, or I guess 52.5, excuse me. It's risen 2 points. And just on that fact alone, it points me towards the under. You're getting implicit, you're getting closing line value. And as we mentioned about the running game, like that's going to be, I think, where the game goes for Buffalo. And if they are able to get up early, they're going to try and control the game, shorten the game. And that all points to the under. So I'm going to hold my nose and take under 54.5 in that one. I'm going to take another under, this time a player prop, going over to Cincy against Tennessee, that being Julio Jones. I couldn't even imagine if you told me 4 years ago, hey, you're going to be taking a Julio Jones receiving under. That wouldn't have felt very good. It still doesn't feel great, but if you look over this year, the number is 43.5. based on that number, he's only gone over in the 10 games that he did play this year 4 times in 10 games. 60% of the time we're winning the bet. You win 60% of your bets and you're a very profitable bettor. So we're going to take Julio under 43.5. Hope the run game takes over. My last bet feels another gross one, but I like the number. Niners +6. Matt, you said DVOA loves the team. I predicted the Packers are going to win. I'm trying to middle here. I think the Niners are going to play a very close, tough game. Both teams are kind of well matched. So that's what I have. And again, my best bet being the Kansas City Buffalo under 54.5.
Right. We kind of anti-correlated our third bets there with my Packers over and your 49ers. But what I will say, and respect Jake for this, all episode he's been talking about the Rams, and he's not going to be a full loser. He had to keep him out of the bets, which I respect. Like, it could have been a really bad where they play Saturday night. Like, Jake could have lost his futures bet, his bet on the show. He could have lost his fandom. I mean, we could have went 3 for 3 Rams, but you hedged it, Jay. That's good.
I'm gonna start hedging against it. So like, I considered hedging and like betting Cardinals money line just to like get my bet size back, and very glad I did not do that.
We got mine and Jake's bets out of the way. Matt, bounce back week. So we got to hear your bets. Where are we going this week?
It's got to be. I had 2 near misses and then one that wasn't. That was the homer pick. I really like a couple bets this week. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Maybe fade me if you want to do that. Just 1-0-3.
Well, the question is, did you like your picks last week?
I loved the Mac Jones pick.
That was a bad beat. That's a bad beat because of game script. That's you got good closing line value. The total
Matt is
went
good.
down.
Matt is more confident. It sounds like going into this week, so that's fine. Let's hear him.
So I got a couple simple ones. My best bet is Tampa -3 over the Rams. I really think this line should be like 5 or 6, 5.5 ish. I really am very confident that the Bucs and Tom Brady win this game. It just like we said in the preview, it just makes sense that they win this game to me. I think they win pretty handily. I think they probably take a big lead early, which comes to my second bet, which is that there will be a lead higher than 14.5 points in the Rams-Tampa game. And not only does that go along with, that's plus 100 odds, so basically a little better than even odds, because most of the time you get like minus 110. And that covers me a little bit, say like the Rams take a 17-0 lead or something early. It covers me the other way as well. So it's a hedge and not a hedge at the same time. But it's probably my least favorite bet of the week of the 3, because I also really love Cincinnati plus 3.5 over Tennessee. I really think Cincy's a better team than Tennessee. And I really think if Tennessee wins, it's going to be really close and they win by like a field goal. So I love that half point that they're giving me with Cincinnati.
Huge.
So my favorite bet is Tampa -3. Second favorite is Cincinnati plus 3.5. And I like there will be a lead higher than 14.5 points in the Tampa Rams game.
That's an interesting one too, because you said you're not as confident, but the reasoning was solid. Like you see game script, you see the game script going that way, and you see a backup on that. Obviously, if the Rams go the opposite way, so that could end up being your sharpest pick too if it hits. So I like it, Matt.
Kyle,
if it hits, it's the one I felt the most confident about. That's what we'll
all right, Matt. There we go.
And which one was your best bet, Kyle?
The Kelsey anytime touchdown.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, these will be out on social media, and we'll implore everyone to follow or fade. If you fade, let us know. That'll be great content. I mean,
make sure you put my 3-0 next to my name on social media. I just want to throw that out there.
Before we move on, I actually do have one. This is outside of the NFL, but this is like, I'm not like beyond locks. Like there's been locks that I've given out before. This might be the lock of my life.
Wow.
Francis Ngannou plus 122 money line against Cyril Gane in the UFC 270 main event.
Oh,
we talked on the podcast that I do for BetQL. We had on John Anik, the voice of the UFC, and he said that a big reason why the line is the way it is a lot of people value the technicality of Cyril Gahn. Technique is all well and good until you have someone who touches you and can end your consciousness in the blink of an eye, which is Francis Ngannou. Look, maybe Cyril Gahn survives for 5 rounds and keeps his distance. I'm going to take Francis Ngannou plus money against pretty much any human on earth anytime you give it to me. So
what's the saying? Everyone thinks they can fight until they get punched in the mouth.
Everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face. Mike Tyson.
Yeah. And of course, Cyril Grayson can fight. We know that, but you make a good point with Ngannou. So didn't think we could be getting a UFC bet, but we appreciate that. Of course,
snuck that in there.
Talked about the podcast. I would have bring that up. He knows what he's talking about, guys. He knows what he's talking about, and hopefully we know what we're talking about with our bets this week. But with that being said, that is it for this episode of Straight Facts presented by Up On Game and iHeartMedia. Shout out you guys. Shout out Jake Trooper. I mean, if you didn't tell us that you had COVID, I wouldn't even have known. I don't think the viewers would have known. You came on and you killed it. Matt, as always, appreciate that. And for James Jackson at home, I am Kyle Sirik, and these have been the facts.
Straight up.